be me. 29. Living in a 2-bedroom apartment that doubles as both home and office. Most of my life is in this space. My ring light, my laptop, my whiteboard full of quotes that I tell myself are empowering, but, if I'm being honest, also just fill the silence. I'm a woman's empowerment dating coach. That's the title on my website at least. Helping modern women attract emotionally available men through self-worth. When I say it out loud, it sounds professional, like I figured something out. The truth is, I stumbled into this by accident. I was a communications major back in college, good student, quiet, used to fade into the background. I never really stood out. My mom raised me on her own after my dad passed when I was 9. She used to tell me, "Don't depend on anyone to save you." I think that sank deeper than I realized. She worked night shifts at a hospital and still managed to keep everything running. Bills, rent, food, she just handled it all. I remember how she'd come home, exhausted, and still lecture me about grades or laundry. I think that's where my whole strong woman image started. I wanted to be like her. Untouchable, unstoppable, unbothered. But when I got older, I kept finding myself in relationships where I was the one holding everything up. My last real relationship was with Tyler. He was the kind of guy who seemed deep at first. Soft voice, talked about mindfulness, said he loved that I was so ambitious. But as soon as I wanted something real, he started with the lines. "I'm not ready. You're pressuring me. Let's not label this." I waited around, thinking he'd eventually choose me. He didn't. When it ended, I told myself I'd never let anyone make me feel powerless again. A few weeks later, scrolling on TikTok, I landed on one of those videos. A woman sitting cross-legged on her couch, glass of water next to her, saying, if he wanted to, he would. And it felt like oxygen. Suddenly, it all made sense. Maybe I wasn't the problem. Maybe men were just emotionally stunted. Women should lead and be the dominant ones in relationships. I fell down that rabbit hole fast. Started reposting quotes, doing little rants about raising your standards and healing your inner goddess. At first, it was just for fun, but people started commenting like I was saying something profound. It felt good to be listened to. By the 3rd month, one of my videos hit 400,000 views, me talking about why men don't deserve unconditional loyalty anymore. I remember staring at the comments for hours. Hundreds of women thanking me for putting their pain into words. That was the night I decided this wasn't just venting, it was a mission. Now I run 2 coaching sessions a week. Monday nights are the big one, the group call. Usually 12, sometimes 15 women, faces glowing in little squares across my screen. Some sit in bed with wine, some are folding laundry while they listen, a few have toddlers running around in the background. I always start the same way. Ladies, we are not here to learn how to get a man. We are here to learn how to manage one. They laugh, but I'm not joking. That's my core philosophy. You don't chase. You position. You don't compromise. You condition. If a man doesn't immediately meet your standard, you teach him that access to you has to be earned. Tonight, I'm walking them through my power cycle framework, the 4 phases that make a man step up or step out. Phase 1, minimal engagement, never text first. Phase 2, mirror his effort. Phase 3, withdraw affection to reset the dynamic. Phase 4, reward with limited attention. I tell them, men are simple. When you pull back, they panic. When you reward, they attach. Michelle, one of my regulars, raises her hand. Her ex texted her after 3 months of silence. She wants to know if she should reply. Absolutely not, I say. He's testing to see if you're still available. You need to remind him that silence is the price of disrespect. They all nod, writing it down like scripture. Michelle smiles nervously, saying she misses him a little. Missing him is your nervous system detoxing, I say. Stay no contact. He'll come back, begging. Then Tara speaks up. She's new. Says she's been single 5 years, trying to stay high value, but she's starting to feel invisible. I tell her, when you stop chasing, they have to find you. And if they don't, that just means they weren't men yet. Real men aren't intimidated by standards. They all nod along, the call buzzing with confidence. I feel proud. This is how you fix modern dating, by teaching women to expect more. What I don't admit is that I've never seen these tactics build anything that lasts. Still, the logic feels right. If men are quitting, it's because they can't handle women who finally know their worth. When Tara thanks me and says she feels stronger already, I smile and tell her strength attracts the right kind of man. They believe it. So do I. At least until the camera light goes off. After the call ends, my assistant Jess messages me. She handles all the admin, testimonials, emails, social posts. Jess, do we have any new success stories this week? I pause before typing. Technically, Michelle blocking her ex counts, right? Me. Yeah, Michelle. She reinforced her boundary, Jess. Okay, adding it to the highlights reel. But as I close my laptop, I realize none of them are actually dating. They're healing, manifesting, staying high value. All my metrics look great. Growing followers, better engagement, but nobody's falling in love. And I haven't had a real date in almost a year. I tell myself it's because I'm focused on my business. Dating would only slow me down. Every happy couple I see online looks staged anyway. The cooking videos, the matching outfits, the fake harmony. You can always tell who's running the show, and it's never the woman. That's what I teach my clients to unlearn. A relationship should feel like you're driving, not auditioning. If a man gets defensive about standards or starts asking about body count, he's already showing you his insecurity. Insecure men aren't partners. They're projects. Sometimes people comment, "If your methods work, why are you single?" I laugh. The answer's simple. Because I practice what I preach. Women come to me after trying the old way and getting burned. I'm teaching the new way. One where we stop waiting for men to lead. Everything was going fine. I was making good money, teaching women about their true values and saving the dating scene. Until something went wrong. The first time I noticed something was off was when my notifications wouldn't stop. Hundreds of comments, tags, and stitches. At first, I thought a post had blown up again, the kind that usually brings new clients. Then I opened it. It was one of my old clips, me in a blazer saying, "If a man can't handle a woman with standards, he should date his mother." Someone had stitched it. A guy, maybe mid-30s, sitting in his car during a lunch break, calm voice, no insults. "We're not angry. We're exhausted. You make dating sound like a job interview we can't pass." That line hit harder than I wanted it to, but before I could think about it, the next stitch auto-played. Another guy. Then another. Whole playlists of men responding, not yelling, just explaining why they'd stopped dating entirely. Reddit threads popped up with my name in the title. YouTube compilations. Delusional Dating Coaches Volume. 3,000s of comments calling me proof that men made the right choice. I told myself it was algorithm drama. Outrage always performs. Monday night, group call. Smiles, but a weird tension. Tara's camera is off. A new girl, Bree, looks uneasy. Bree speaks first. "So, I've been following the power cycle thing. I stopped texting first, stopped validating, did everything right. But now guys just unmatch. Like immediately I tell her, good. That means you filtered out the low effort ones. She nods, but she doesn't look convinced. Then Tara unmutes. I tried what you said too, but they don't come back. They just stop. It's like they're not even playing anymore. For a second, no one talks. I feel everyone waiting for me to fix it, so I do what I always do, fill the silence. That's just fragile male egos. They can't handle a woman who knows her worth. Keep your boundaries. They'll adapt a few nods, but it's weaker than usual. The certainty in their eyes, that small hungry faith I've gotten used to, it isn't there tonight. After the call, Jess messages me. We're getting weird comments on the last clip. Want me to delete the negative ones? I tell her no. Engagement is engagement. Then I post a new video. Men say they're tired. Women have been tired for centuries. If they can't meet us at our level, that's not our problem. I film it twice to get the tone right. Calm but firm, that practiced balance between authority and empathy. I upload it and refresh every few minutes. At first, the likes roll in from my usual crowd. Then the stitches start again. One man duets me, holding a cup of coffee. We're not quitting women. We're quitting pain. We're quitting being disposable. Another shows screenshots of his Hinge inbox. 0 matches in a week. Why keep trying when this is the reward? Scrolling through those videos, I catch myself thinking how sad it looks. Then I remember I'm supposed to frame it as accountability, so I repost one with a caption. Men's fragility isn't our responsibility. It tanks. Worst engagement in months. Even my regular followers are commenting things like, maybe there's a middle ground? Middle ground. The phrase annoys me. There is no middle ground when you're right. Around midnight, I end up on one of those men going their own way forums just to see what they're saying. Half the posts are jokes. The other half read like quiet resignation. Stories about men who deleted dating apps, stopped approaching women, stopped trying entirely. Not hateful, just done. For a moment, I imagine what it must feel like to give up completely. Then I shake it off. Weakness disguised as wisdom. That's all it is. The next morning, Jess calls. You got invited to a podcast. Modern Love Decoded. They want a debate episode. Men versus women in dating. I check the email. They've already confirmed another guest. Ethan Reed, a YouTuber who apparently represents the male perspective. I remember his name from one of the Karma stitches. Perfect. A chance to set the record straight. If men want to quit, fine. But at least I'll make sure the world knows why they were never strong enough to stay. Jess calls me first thing the next morning. Her voice has that careful tone, the one she uses when she's about to say something I won't like. So, about that podcast? Yeah, I saw the email, I say. What about it? They invited that Ethan Reed guy. He's been all over YouTube lately. You sure you want to do this? He's like really popular with men. Kind of their spokesperson. I roll my eyes. Spokesperson for what? Mediocrity? Jess doesn't laugh. I just mean, he's smart. Calm. Doesn't yell. That kind of makes him more dangerous. He's the one people listen to when they don't like Andrew Tate, but still agree with him a little. Her wording stings more than I admit. I tell her I'll handle it, that I know how to control a conversation, but after we hang up, I find myself typing his name into YouTube anyway. His channel banner is minimalist, no flashy red text or clickbait thumbnails, just Ethan Reed, Bhakti, honest conversations about modern relationships. His videos have titles like Why Men Check Out and Dating Isn't Dead, It's Drained. I click one. He's sitting at a desk, low lighting, steady tone. Men didn't suddenly lose interest in women. They lost interest in competition for people who don't even seem to like them. He talks about effort, fear of rejection, constant testing. He uses the word disposable 3 times. There's nothing angry about it. That's the unsettling part. He sounds tired. Thoughtful even. Comments are filled with men saying, "Finally someone said it without hate," and women replying, "I never thought of it that way." I keep waiting for him to say something sexist, but he doesn't. Just realism. Calm realism. I tell myself he's manipulating tone for sympathy, but an hour later, I'm still watching. By the 4th video, I have a page of notes labeled counterpoints. Men aren't quitting dating, they're hiding. Burnout equals lack of resilience. Empathy does not equal excuses. I underline that last one 3 times. Fast forward 2 weeks later to the morning of the podcast. I put on my power uniform, cream blazer, gold earrings, hair pulled back in a half bun. Confident, controlled, the kind of woman who could read you to filth without raising her voice. Jess meets me outside the studio. She's holding 2 iced coffees, her nervous energy practically buzzing. "You sure about this?" she asks. "Their audience is like 70% male." "All the better," I say. "Let's give them something to learn from." She sighs. "Just don't get baited, okay?" "Jess, I teach emotional control for a living." I smile like I believe it. The studio is smaller than I expected. 2 mics, 1 host, 1 camera operator. Ethan's already there when I walk in. He stands, shakes my hand, firm, polite, no posturing. Up close, he's nothing like the caricature I built in my head. No smirk, no alpha vibe, just a calm presence that immediately throws me off balance. "Thanks for doing this," he says. "I know online debates can get ugly." "I'm fine with ugly," I reply, trying to sound unfazed. We sit opposite each other, mics between us. The host, Serena, opens with her polished smile. Today we're talking about whether men have actually quit dating, and if so, why. We've got Ethan Reed, relationship analyst, and Ava Lawson, women's empowerment coach. I give my practiced grin. Ethan nods once, calm, unreadable. Serena starts easy. "Ava, you've said men don't try anymore. What do you think caused that shift?" That's my cue. I slide into autopilot, voice steady. "It's cultural." Women finally stopped accepting the bare minimum. When equality started meaning effort on both sides, a lot of men mistook accountability for attack. A few murmurs of agreement off camera. I relax. I know this rhythm. Then Serena turns to him. "Ethan, your channel talks about men stepping back from dating. What do you think is happening?" He leans in, elbows on the table. "I don't think men quit because they hate women. They quit because dating stopped feeling mutual. Most guys are expected to pay, plan, perform, prove value, before there's even basic interest shown back. After a few years of that, a lot of them decide peace is cheaper." I laugh lightly, hoping to sound dismissive. "So it's about money? About not wanting to treat women well?" "Not exactly." He stays calm, which somehow makes it worse. "It's about investment without return. You can take a woman to dinner that costs half your day's wage, and if she doesn't feel a spark, that's it. No connection, no thanks. Sometimes not even a text back. Multiply that by 50, add rent, inflation, the risk of being labeled creepy just for asking. People get tired." I cut in fast. "But women deal with rejection too. We risk safety every time we meet a stranger. Men walking away from dating because it's hard isn't noble, it's lazy." He nods once. "Sure. But a lot of men tried being good, patient, respectful, and were told they're too nice. They learned that effort doesn't earn affection anymore. Status does. So they stopped playing." The room goes still for a second. Serena jumps back in, sensing tension. "Ava, You teach women to raise standards. Could those standards ever be too high? I smile like she's asked something obvious. There's no such thing as too high. Women have spent generations settling. Asking for emotional maturity and ambition isn't excess. It's self-respect. Ethan glances at me, not unkindly. Respect is fair. But sometimes what's framed as self-respect is just control. Telling women to test, to pull away, to measure every text, that doesn't build connection. It trains both sides to play defense. I open my mouth, but he keeps going. You call it empowerment. Men hear conditional affection. That love's a prize if they perform correctly. Eventually, they realize they'll never win that game, so they walk. Serena looks intrigued. Ava, what about that? Do you think modern dating advice maybe turns relationships into transactions? Boundaries aren't transactions, I say quickly. They're protection. Ethan's voice stays even. Protection's good. But when protection turns into punishment, people stop showing up. Most men aren't against women leading. They're against feeling like employees auditioning for a boss. I feel my throat tighten. You're twisting it. Teaching women to stop overgiving isn't manipulation. I didn't say it was. I'm saying the rules don't work because both sides are scared. Women of being used, men of being rejected or accused. We turn dating into damage control. Nobody flirts. They strategize. The host actually pauses, glancing between us like she forgot her next question. So Ethan, you're saying men want connection but feel penalized for pursuing it? Pretty much. You can't tell men to man up, pay for everything, initiate, lead, then call it toxic when they do. It's emotional whiplash. The crew laughs softly, even Serena smirks. I force a smile too, but my pulse is pounding. Or maybe men just don't like equality when it costs them, I snap. They say they're tired, but women have been exhausted for centuries. He nods again, still calm. Maybe. But women didn't fix that by quitting men. They fixed it by demanding partnership. Men are just doing the same thing now, in their own way. When the cameras stop, everyone exhales. Serena thanks us. Ethan stands, shakes my hand. His grip is steady. I meant what I said, he tells me quietly. You have influence. Maybe use it to actually connect people again. I blink, caught off guard. You mean change my message? He half shrugs. Maybe just check if it's helping? Sometimes the truth shifts when you look at results, not theories. He walks out before I can answer. In the car, Jess is scrolling comments from the live stream. You kinda got ratioed, she says carefully. But weirdly, they didn't hate you. A lot of people said you looked nervous. Human. She hands me the phone. Top comment, she's not evil, just lost in her own echo chamber. For some reason that hits harder than the insults. Back home, I re-watch the recording. Every time Ethan speaks, I cut in. Quick, defensive, smiling too much. By the third interruption, I pause the video. He's quiet in the frame, waiting. I look unsettled, not confident, cornered. I think I'm screwed when this goes live. The episode went live on Friday night. By Saturday morning, my inbox was a funeral. Half my coaching clients had cancelled their subscriptions. The rest asked for pauses that everyone knows mean goodbye. Group chat, silent. Discord server, half empty. Even Jess looked pale when she told me, we lost 8 monthly renewals overnight. Then the DMs started. Not threats, just pity. Maybe he got through to you. Finally, some accountability. The word burned. I told myself it was coordinated. Men trying to tear down another woman's business. It's what always happens. A woman gets confident, men call it arrogance, and suddenly she's the villain. I posted a story saying, Funny how men preach accountability until it's theirs. It got a few likes, but mostly silence. That night, I sat in my office, scrolling through my client list. Empty names, cancelled payments. 2 years of building something, and it vanished after one conversation. Maybe that's the real lesson. No matter how independent you think you are, a man can still wreck your world just by talking softer than you. Jess asked if I wanted to pivot, maybe mindset coaching or confidence for entrepreneurs. I said I'd think about it. Truth is, I don't know. Maybe I'll rebrand. Maybe I'll come back louder, angrier, prove they can't erase me. Or maybe I'll disappear for a while and figure out who I was before the ring light. All I know is the camera's off, the followers are gone, and for the first time, the silence doesn't feel like empowerment. It just feels like silence.